Hey, insurance producers, there's nothing more frustrating than finding yourself delivering a renewal to a really good client last minute. We all know this is what pisses clients off, but sometimes it feels like things just get out of your control. And the next thing you know is that you're caught in a really tough situation and you feel terrible about it, right? So, in this video, I want to share with you a system and a process for ensuring that your renewals always stay in your control to guarantee that you essentially have 100% renewal success or as close to it as you possibly can. Hey, my name is Micah. This is the Max Revenue Show. If you like our stuff, do me a huge favor, subscribe below and click the thumbs up button and comment. Let me know your thoughts so that we can help everyone become better insurance producers out there who want to be better. All right, I want to start with a story first. Is I got a call frantically from a producer who was like, "Hey, it's July 11th. I have a client that just renewed July 5th. We still don't have the thing renewed. We're still missing signatures and other things. What should I do?" And basically, I told him, I said, you know, there's a lot that went wrong here, man. Like, we got to get a system in place to make sure this never happens again. There's no use in freaking out about things. Let's just get the policies in place. Let's make sure the client's taken care of. And I don't know if the blame is on your account manager, if it's on you. Obviously, I would say it's partially on you for sure. I haven't heard their story, so it's hard to really kind of diagnose things. Um, but talking through things, I could see that one of this producer's biggest weaknesses was taking control and having a system in place to make sure this kind of stuff doesn't happen. One thing I want to note before I get into the specific system, and I have about six to seven different steps that I think will make sure that you have success in renewals. But is that as a producer, you're going to work with account managers that are at a wide variety of skill levels, right? Ranging from not much more than just kind of issuing COIs all the way up to like a true account manager that proactively stays on top of the book of the renewals, takes ownership, and makes sure that you're getting stuff in a timely manner. So you actually don't have to think about it, right? You have a renewal coming up and they get you the renewal workbook or the apps 120 days out without you even telling them. So that's, 10 out of 10, you'd love to have that. And then you have anything down to a 1 where you're not getting that. Maybe you don't have any account manager, but this is a process that I think will help you out. So, but at the end of the day, what I told him is I said, hey, man, you got to take ownership, right? Ultimately, how do you get paid? You feed your family based on your renewals, and you've got to treat your renewals. Don't fall in this mindset of just hunting new business and forgetting about renewals. Treat renewals as new business, right? Because they could leave you every single year. So you need to look at renewals and new business essentially the same. And we all know it's a lot harder to get a new client than it is to keep an existing client, right? So you did the hard work. Don't let it blow up in your face now, all right? Okay, so this is the process. Step one, 150. Well, first of all, step one is create a calendar with all your clients listed on there in the left column. It could be done in Excel. On the top, have all your months written out, January through December. And every month you should schedule 4 meetings with a client every year. Now they don't have to be official meetings, but 4 touch points throughout the year. I think 12 is overkill. Obviously there's nuance. There's certain clients, maybe you have a jumbo account that does require 12. That's fine, but I'm just saying about 4 touch points. And so I know that touch point one is going to be at the end of Q1, so about two months into the policy period to 3. That's at 1 touch point. And then I'm going to have a half mid-year touch point. So I put that on the calendar. Then I'm going to have a pre-renewal strategy meeting touch point. That's touch point 3, and then touch point 4 is the renewal itself, right? So there you go. So now your clients can never complain, hey, I never see Joe Blow, right? So now that you have that system in place, go to your Excel spreadsheet, list all your clients. I don't care if you have a CRM, still do this. List your clients, list the months, January through December at the top, and then go down, right? And so you know that if you have a January X date, you're going to go out to March for that client. That's first touch point, right? Then June, and I think you get the point. Do that for every client, and then print that out, and that should be your master sheet that you're looking at every Monday, at least throughout the week. Look at that, so no renewals are ever falling through the cracks. One side note: this is also why it's critical to have one expiration date for a client, if possible, because I've gotten caught in this mess where you have a one-off policy that's a different expiration date, and it kind of sucks because you can lose track of that policy, and then that could cost you a deal if that one policy has gets jacked up for whatever reason or gets forgot about. So that's why I'm a fan of consolidating X dates, not just for the client, but for you. If you do have a separate X date, I would almost list it on there separately, right? Or put it on your calendar that month, put renew, right? So your doesn't fall through. So that's step one, create the calendar. Step two, 150 days out from renewal, you should be messaging your account manager, um, hey, I need last year's apps. I need a renewal workbook sometime in the next 30 days. So you want to have that by 120 days out in your hands. I like to do this because you're giving them time. You want to be respectful of your team. You want to make sure that they have ample time to get done what they need to get done. You don't want to just drop it on them. Hey, tomorrow I'll meet with so and so. Can I get this? There's no quicker way to piss off your service staff than to do that. So, okay, so that's the 150-day mark. You should be emailing. Again, you look at your calendar. Oh, 120 days is my pre-renewal strategy meeting. So from there, work backwards 30 days. Get with your account manager and make sure that they're getting you that information that you need. Okay, and then number two, email the client sometime between that 150 and that 120. Hey, client, can we set up a renewal strategy meeting to discuss this year's upcoming renewal? What the market's doing, what our plan is, and just make sure we're on the same page. Right? That's going to help put the client's mind at ease. And now you have time to work with, and hopefully you're setting it somewhere between that 90 to 120 day mark, right? So you're kind of setting this out 3-4 weeks in advance. All right, then you're going to go to that meeting, right, with what you need to make sure that the submission on the back end goes smoothly. So when you're meeting with that client, you have the renewal apps almost partially completed, right? You have the workbook, and you have like a list of some questions to ask about revenues and all that stuff. And so that you have enough information to gather at that meeting to not cause a delay in the process. That's where I see a lot of delays back and forth. Like, hey, you get partial information from the client at that renewal strategy meeting, and then when you go back to give it to the account manager, she's waiting on you. That's kind of what happened to this guy, right? So get everything, and then let's see. You want to make sure that you are going to have everything to your account manager. I would say by like 100 days out, right? So you hopefully get it in that 100 to 120 days or 90 to 120 days, and about 100 to 90 days out, hopefully your account manager has everything. When they get everything, you also want to tell them these are the markets that we want to go to specifically, right? You should control that process. And maybe your agency says, no, our marketing team does or whatever, but you are the producer. That's how you're paid. I'm a believer in that you should have some say so. Now, again, you don't want to be shopping every year or anything like that foolishly, but you do want to um, have put in your word, right? And you know your clients, what they expect. Okay, so then after you've done that, you're going to tell your account manager, after you've gotten her the stuff, copy me on the emails when you send them out on the renewals. I want to be copied on all those so you know that it's been done. If you don't see it's been done after 5 days of, I want to give you much more than 3 to 5 days, follow up email. Hey, Susie, where did you? I just want to make sure you sent out that submission for the renewal, right? And again, think about this, guys. We're working at this point, we're 85, 90 days prior to the actual X date. So that's the whole thing, is the timing is everything, and communication. All right, so then I would do some check-ins. So this is step, I think, 7 now. 60-day check-ins with my account manager. Hey, how's it going? Right? Any feedback yet? And then do a 45-day check-in. How's it going? Any feedback yet? And one thing I should have mentioned is that when you send this to your account manager initially and say go out to the market, give them a need by date. Tell your account manager what that need by date is to tell to the underwriter. Hey, I need this at Renew 7/1. I need this in our hands by 5/25. Okay, let me know if that will be an issue at all. That gives you 35 days out from the X date. And if you get it, it gives you 5 days to review it. You can set that with your clients 4 to 3 weeks out. And then the last thing that I would say is, uh, you know, 35 days out, about 40 days out, actually, you should be setting that meeting with your client. And I would also give them an update, at that 40 day, 35 day mark. Hey, just so you know, we're about to get the final numbers. We should have them. Can we set the renewal meeting now? All these communication touch points do a couple things. They put your client's mind at ease. They give them confidence that you're working on things. And then also the communication on the back end, make sure that things aren't falling through the cracks. Again, I know really, really good account managers don't need this maybe level of hand holding that it might feel like, but not everybody is a level 10, right? And so if there's people not there, you got to do this. And even if they are there, I would still implement a lot of this as the producer, right? Because you got to take the ownership. It's ultimately your book. It's your income on the line, and that's the main thing I want you to take away from this video. Is just Jocko Willink, I think, talks about it, but take ownership, control it. It ultimately stops with you, not your account manager. And if you keep having issues with your account manager, your service person not following through on these things, you got to either find a new person or coach and work with them to get to this level. That's all I got for you guys today. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, do us again a favor. I mentioned this in the beginning, but subscribe. That's how we're trying to get the word out to people, and like our channel. And last but not least, if you want more guidance on selling or prospecting, we do have a course that we offer called the Producer Playbook. It's done a lot of good. I think over 400 or 500 producers have bought it, and I think it could really help you out. So go feel free to check that out.